Hello everyone, welcome back to the North Star. It's a pleasure to see you all again. Do you plan on doing anything after high school? If so, I highly suggest you learn more about internships. Here's Mr. Mulehouse with more information.
Hey, Mr. Mulehouse, how's it going?
Wonderful, it's Friday.
Yeah.
Always enjoy those days.
So I understand that you are pretty much the leader in internships for students at Bloomington North. Can you explain how someone would get involved in internships?
Sure, so it's more than just internships. So we have a program here called the Service Learning Program, and within that program you have senior internship, which would be for seniors. Then you have cadet teaching for those students who think that they might want to be teachers. That's for juniors and seniors. And then we also have community service schools, which is one period, community service nonprofit, which is one period, and those would be for juniors or seniors who can only fit one period out of their day of the 8 periods. And the basic idea is to give students an opportunity to go out in the community and do an internship in a field that they think they might want to pursue in their future. So students who are 16, 17, or 18 years old, they might think, well, I want to be a dentist, or I want to be an attorney, or whatever the case may be. We do our best to try to place them in that field within our community. And so instead of going every Maroon 1-2 or Gold 5-6 or however it fits in their schedule, they actually go to a site and do a non-paid internship to kind of see what is it really like to be in that field. So again, it's for juniors and seniors. So what's going to happen is every year at Bloomington North we schedule for classes usually mid to late January. So there's a form that students fill out, and it kind of asks the questions of, do you have attendance issues? Do you have tardy issues? Are you able to get yourself to your site? And so they fill out this form, they turn it into me, and then they would sign up for either senior internship, cadet teaching, community service schools, or community service nonprofit. And then once I get all the students who signed up, the counselors will give me a list. I go through each individual student and look at their attendance, and look at their tardies, and look at their GPA, and look at their attendance, and things like that. Because since our students are out in the community representing our school, you have to have demonstrated that you can attend school, be on time, you don't get in trouble all the time, things like that. So when our students are out there, they're representing our school the best possible way. Well, so I would talk to the student about, trying to narrow any specific field down. I mean, do they think that they want to be in the medical field? Okay, if the answer is no, we can eliminate a lot. Do they think that they want to be in marketing or advertising? I just try to, ask probing questions to help them get an idea of, oh, okay, maybe that's interesting. Because a lot of times students will come in and I want to be in business. Right. Well, everything's business. Even non-for-profit is business. So it becomes difficult for me to place students if they don't have something specific. And so if they don't, and every year we have multiple students who don't, I have a big binder of past sites that I can let students look at, and I ask students to write down the positives and negatives of where they intern, and the student can read over it. Oh, this looks interesting, or oh, yeah, this student didn't recommend it, and maybe they go to the next page and the next page. So a student does not have to be absolutely certain of what they think they might want to do. It helps, but they don't have to. Well, certainly giving students an opportunity to go out in the field and kind of get their feet wet is something that we can't possibly provide in a normal classroom setting. Okay, so if a student wants to be an attorney, they can go to a law firm. And of course, they're not going to be given massive projects. They're going to have to do tasks that are more remedial until they can demonstrate a level of responsibility that their site supervisors then feel able to give them maybe larger assignments or larger projects or things like that. And so, Bloomington doesn't have everything. If somebody wanted zoology, we don't have it. Okay, Indianapolis would be the closest place. But there's a lot of different opportunities in Bloomington. And so every year we will have a fairly decent number of students who are absolutely convinced they think they know what they want to do. I want to be a physician's assistant. And then we place them in that area with somebody. And then after a semester, like, that's not what I thought it was. I don't want to do that. I just wasted a whole semester. Well, you didn't waste that semester. It actually helped you figure out at a young age, okay, that's not something you want to pursue. Now let's look at your next idea that you may want to pursue. So for me, when I was in high school, we didn't have an internship program. So initially, when I went to college, I wanted to be a sports marketing and management major. That was absolutely what I thought I wanted to do. And then I started taking some of the classes, and then I started doing some shadowing experience and realized, this isn't what I want to do. Well, I could have taken an internship in high school, done something like that, and figured out much earlier. And so I wouldn't have taken some of those classes that were specific to sports marketing and management. And it would have saved me some time and, of course, certainly some money. So those are the advantages of being able to go out in the community and get that experience that, a normal classroom setting can't provide.
Boys to Men is a club where boys meet every Friday to talk about issues and grow as people.
Parker Gilly, King Bass, called Boys to Men. Boys to Men is just like this group where a whole bunch of teenage or high schoolers come together and just talk about their feelings, how they're feeling, just a whole bunch of personal stuff that we can't really keep on our chest anymore, so we have to tell someone.
Do you guys feel way better talking about what you guys been going through to?
Most definitely. I had a couple personal issues going on, and I told the group, and they were there to support me, and there was no judgment or nothing. They were just there to support me.
Just by making people feel comfortable, and I feel like a lot of times people don't want to say anything because they're gonna feel judged, and I think we need to stop judging people for being humans, because at the end of the day we're all just humans. We're all just trying to live our life, be happy, and I mean that's kind of the goal of this all. I will say not right now, just because it's been the first month, but we're definitely getting closer. Guys are starting to open up more, and I feel like by the end of the year, we're definitely going to be a tight group.
Hi, I'm Mr. Nolan. I teach chemistry and environmental science here at North, and I'm also the sponsor of the Boys to Men Club. So this is a national organization, and it's actually sponsored through the Boys and Girls Club, mostly for snacks. They're actually sending some people here to meet with us that are starting a circle at South, and I believe they're also starting a circle at Edgewood. So this is kind of a thing that's happening at lots of schools. They may start them at some of the junior highs as well. Be better supports for each other. I think as King said earlier, it's really about showing up without judgment and just with compassion and supporting each other and through whatever is going on in life. There's getting out whatever you're feeling, what's going on tends to feel good, and so doing that, supporting each other in that process. I always, at the end of every meeting, feel just a little more connected, a little more, it may be calmer, right? So I think that just sitting down for that 37 minutes, it helps it that much, and then building those relationships over the year. And we had this last year too, and really some of the guys that have graduated, just check in with me. Let me know if you'd like to join the club, or any of the guys in the club, that you see on this video. But anybody who's interested, we just kind of it's open to anybody at North that feels called to join with us.
And where could they find you at?
Right here in room 24.
All right.
Hi, I'm Reagan Deckard, Editor-in-Chief of the North Star News, our student-produced news website. Have you wondered about the construction in the atrium? Well, we've got the answers. The school's putting in a digital Wall of Fame art display designed by art teacher Mr. Allenson.
So this is the BHSN Wall of Fame. I was approached by Mr. Stark, our principal, to do a redesign of this wall and kind of bring it into this century. The school received a really generous donation in line with our 50th anniversary. And so what's going to happen is there's going to be a touch screen right here, and you will be able to look through any graduates from Bloomington High School North that have gone on to make an impact in the world. So Wall of Fame members, people like Joshua Bell, really famous violinist. We got Michael Carita, who's a famous author. They graduated from Bloomington High School North. There will also be some pictures of the previous schools that went on to become Bloomington High School North. So there's going to be a little bit of history, but it'll be an interactive piece. So you'll be able to look at all the North graduates. And then over here, there will be a little mirror where you can kind of envision yourself as a future Wall of Famer. I think it's going to be really great. I'm excited. You can see that there's some work in progress, and it should be really good.
For more news like this, visit bhsnnorthstarnews.com.
Our next two segments come from our beginning video class. The first one is a highlight on Mr. Coopersmith.
Hi, my name's Aubrey, and I love Mr. Coopersmith. What do you think of Mr. Coopersmith?
Are you talking Christopher Coopersmith?
Yeah.
Oh, he's an amazing human being.
He's one of my favorite teachers.
He really inspired us to learn a lot of words, and we took that to regionals, and then we also took that to Purdue.
My name is Chris Coopersmith. My title is English teacher. I was a caseworker at Centerstone, what is now called Centerstone, for children and adolescents. So I was a social worker, and I actually really liked working with teenagers, but being a social worker was it's kind of hard on you, because my dad was a teacher and I did not want to be a teacher, and so I had avoided it for a really long time, but then I figured out that maybe that was right for me. How do I impact others? I think I try to be really honest about things. I think sometimes people, in the interest of being polite or not breaking social rules, people won't say the truth. And I try to be truthful, and I think that sometimes is appreciated and sometimes it's not. And I'm also just truthful about my own struggles and my own weaknesses, and I think that can be something that's valuable for people to hear. How do I feel about English teacher? I mean, I like it because I like talking about ideas, and I like words, and I like to help people communicate. But I was just telling Mr. Belcaster, who's been teaching with me, that the thing I don't like about it is this. This is only about a half of the pile of essays that I've been grading for 3 of my classes. It's kind of like grading an entire book. That's the one thing that's tough about English teacher, but everything else I really like. I've been in classrooms for over 20 years. I was an assistant teacher for a couple of years, but I think I'm on my 19th year. Why do I continue? Honestly, why I continue is sometimes I think I don't want to continue, and I start looking for other career paths and things, and I always come back around to the fact that a lot of jobs look really, really boring to me, just desperately boring. And I think even if I could make $100,000, I would rather do this. The first few years of teaching, unless you're just happen to be a natural, or they'll kill you, and you literally come home exhausted, crying. A lot of people cry when they come home from teaching, when their first couple of years, because just you guys can be mean and unruly, kids can, and you don't know what you're doing.
The next highlight is about Dr. Bove, the new choir teacher.
My name is Chris Boveru. I have a doctorate in choral conducting, so I go by Dr. Boveru or Dr. Bove. This is my first year at Bloomington High School North. I think new people get interested in choir for two reasons. They realize that we have a lot of fun in the classroom and in performances, and second, they hear us and go, that actually sounds really cool, I want to be a part of that. We're in Bloomington for the long haul, and I'm committed to North for the long term. The only difference is that I want the choirs to be needing passports so that we can go on tour in far and exotic locales. If I woke up tomorrow and music didn't exist, I'd probably have to figure out how to invent it again.
Thank you once again for stopping in on the North Star. I hope to see you all again very, very soon.